This was in New York. I was working for Uber Eats. There were a few apartment areas that we weren't supposed to deliver to, but they had taken an order for one of them, and it was about $90 of food, so I said I'd take it. I get there, and it looks like it's under construction. But that's not really suspicious because I've delivered to all kinds of people and places. I go up to the door and it's cracked open, and I can see inside it's not occupied, but I knock and holler in, thinking it's for workers. A door opens behind me, and as I turn around, I'm blasted in the face with a fire extinguisher. Not realizing immediately what it was, I take a few steps back. I can't see anything, but hear a bunch of commotion from people coming from towards me yelling things like, "Get him!" I threw the 2 big bags of pizzas forward as I continue to move backwards. I back up out of the entrance to the apartment towards my car, and am starting to piece together what's happening. I'm being robbed. But the few steps I've taken backward, throwing what they wanted forward, and the huge cloud from the fire extinguisher's dust has given me some room to get away. It's about 30 feet to my car, and I immediately go there and grab my phone and start calling the police, and I see 5 teenagers run out of the building with the pizza bags. I get so furious I start chasing them while talking to the police. The police are asking me for an address, and I'm having trouble remembering the delivery address, so I keep telling the building number I'm running past. She didn't like that, and I was yelling at her that we are running and just get police to these apartments, and hung up. I'm not a great runner, but I'm determined to keep behind these kids to see where they go, and I trip right as a car full of people is driving by, and they yell to ask me what is going on, and I yelled so everyone can hear that they robbed me and I'm chasing them. They were really not getting too far ahead and ended up ditching the pizza bags and splitting up. I figured they must live in these buildings, and I focused in on one that's pants were falling down and causing him to not run very fast. He kept turning around and taunting me, but I kept my distance and followed him. He ran through a breezeway, and as I gave chase, a man was entering his apartment and asked what was going on. I quickly told him, and he started running after the kid too. I was pretty out of steam, and had gotten plenty of attention from a lot of people in the area, and was about to stop running. The kid had gone through a hole in a fence, and I decided not to go any farther, right when the kid just gave up. The man was yelling at him, and he came back through the fence, and the man grabbed the kid and started back towards me. He said that it was his stepson. I felt bad for involving him for a split second, but the kid was yelling all kinds of nasty things at me. The police start to show up and arrest the kid, and I point out a few apartments I thought I saw the others go into. They brought out one other guy for me to identify, but my eyes were burning from the fire extinguisher, so I couldn't say for sure that he was one of them. The dust was all over my face, and sweat kept running more down into my eyes. It was all up my nose, and I couldn't stop spitting trying to get the taste out of my mouth. They did find another one of the kids from his phone number from calling in the order, and asked me to be in the courtroom when they were charged, even though I ended up not having to say anything. I met another guy there at the court that day, that they had robbed the week before me. He had gotten really beat up, and was so happy they had gotten caught.
So there I am, just another day in Portland, Oregon, cruising around on my Uber Eats delivery. This time it's a sweet gig for Baskin-Robbins, and the drop-off is at some fancy apartment building not too far away. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? Well, buckle up, because this delivery took a turn for the creepy real quick. I grab the order, hop in my car, and make my way to the apartment building. But then, bam, I get a text from the customer. "Hey," it says, "could you come inside and leave it on my table? I just got back from the hospital and can't bend down to get it." All right, a bit strange, but hey, I'm a nice guy. I text back, "Sure thing, be there soon." But then, things get weird. Another text pops up. "My apartment is unlocked. I'll be 10 fat inside waiting." Hold up, who says that? I'm getting major chills just reading it. But hey, I brush it off and keep going. I get to the building, and it's one of those fancy ones with the keypad entry. Now here's where it gets fishy. The name on the app is Arnold Winstrom, but all I can find is Arnold Warner. That's strike one. Strike two, the guy in apartment 220, where the order supposedly came from, ain't answering the buzzer. Weird, right? Finally, someone lets me in, and I'm already thinking about bailing on this delivery. But hey, I'm committed, so I head up to the second floor. As soon as I step out of the elevator, my phone rings. It's an unknown number, and when I pick up, all I hear is some distorted, angry voice. Creepy, right? I reach the apartment, and guess what? It's cracked open, just like in a horror movie. I knock, no answer. I call out that I've got the Uber order, still nothing. At this point, my gut's telling me to run, but I peek inside anyway. Darkness, silence, and then I see it, a shadow lurking in the corner. Nope, not sticking around to find out what it is. I drop the order, spill it everywhere, and bolt out of there. I'm no chicken, but this delivery, scariest thing I've ever experienced. I called up Uber, reported the whole thing, and they shut down the guy's account. But man, I can't shake the feeling. Who was that person on the phone? And what was their deal? I've got goosebumps just thinking about it.
It's 1 a.m., and I'm at Taco Bell, gearing up for another round of late-night Uber Eats deliveries. Now, if you've ever done this gig, you know it ain't always smooth sailing. But let me tell you about the night that took the cake for the worst delivery ever. So there I am, patiently waiting in line at Taco Bell, my first stop of the night. And let me tell you, this line is longer than a Sunday sermon. But hey, I'm cool with it, because the payout's decent, and it's gonna take me back home, about 8-9 miles away. But just when I'm settling into the wait, I get a call from our first villain, Mr. Impatient. Now, this guy's calling about his food, and I've barely been in line for 5 minutes. Turns out he's the second order, and he's been calling in every 5 minutes like clockwork, asking about his food. Dude, give me a break. But in my defense, I didn't realize he was the second order because I couldn't hear the name properly over the speaker. My bad. Fast forward 20 minutes, I finally get the Taco Bell order sorted and head over to Checkers for the next one. Now, Checkers is usually a breeze, but tonight, it's like I've stumbled into a den of villains. First off, the staff is moving slower than a sloth on a Sunday stroll. I'm waiting forever, and Mr. Impatient is blowing up my phone again. But wait, it gets worse. The Checkers crew tells me they never got the Uber Eats order in their system. What the heck? And to top it off, they're fresh out of milkshakes. Great, just great. Now, I'm stuck in a sticky situation. The second customer's getting antsy, the Checkers staff is clueless, and I'm about ready to throw in the towel. But before I can do anything, Mr. Impatient starts dropping my name and throwing threats left and right. Not cool, buddy. I try to explain the situation, but he's not having it. He's all riled up, and I'm not about to stick around for that. So, I cancel the order, bid adieu to the chaos, and hightail it out of there. And here I am, sharing this wild tale. 'Cause let me tell you, being an Uber driver ain't always easy. But hey, at least it makes for one heck of a story, right?
I hope you found these stories as chilling and unsettling as I did. It's a stark reminder that sometimes reality can be stranger and more frightening than fiction. If you enjoyed these tales of suspense, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more spine-chilling content. This is your host, Nicholas Black. Until next time.